Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. Hello and welcome to this episode. Today, I am chatting with Matteo, who is the marketing manager for Gemar USA, and I was able to meet him at Balloon Boss Summit this past year. And when he started talking about the history of the company, I realized I didn't know a ton about Gemar, but all of a sudden they seem like they are everywhere. They're sponsoring the big balloon build. I always see them at conventions. I see them on Instagram. So I wanted to know more about this brand. In this interview, we talk about the long history of Gemar and how they've really created a global brand based on language and culture. We also talk about some of the new things they have coming out and something I'm really personally interested in, which is their software to help you plan not only mock-ups and designs, but calculate balloons for jobs. So we get into all of the details in this interview. And before we do, let's take a quick break to head over to the UGlue hotline for some advice that sticks. But thank you to Matteo for this great interview. And it was so nice to learn more about Gemar. Welcome to the UGlue hotline, where we discuss great advice that sticks. Brought to you by Pro Tapes. If you have a question or some great advice to share, click the link in the show notes to call in and leave a voicemail.
Hi, my name is Rachel Mel. I'm in Michigan, and I am with Beyond Balloon Co., or I own Beyond Balloon Co. And my question is, I'm really glad you posted this because I'm having issues with hanging installs outside. And I haven't tried Oogloo yet, and I've been wanting to. So I do need to get it, but is that your preferred go-to for hanging anything outside? Like, I did a bunch of installs at a bunch of storefronts, and I was nervous with the tape that I was using on some of like their wood or their windows, so it doesn't leave anything or peel the paint. So does Oogloo leave any residue? Does it peel paint? Is that like your kind of go-to preferred way for hanging anything outside, because you can't really use command hooks on brick and things like that? So I guess, what's your best preferred method, and is Oogloo the trick for everything? Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Rachel, thanks for calling in. Okay, so actually, no, I don't use adhesives on client surfaces. So I use UGlue like within balloons. So I use it to stick balloons to balloons. Anytime I am hanging to a wall or an outdoor window or on brick, I am usually avoiding adhesive at all costs. I don't want to cause damage. I don't want to bet that it's going to stick and then it doesn't. Like, I just like to eliminate all the risk factors in that situation. So I would recommend that you practice rigging. Like, I think that you cannot go wrong with tying, attaching things to attachment points. So anytime I'm doing an install outside, I am making sure that I have some rigging points. And I think the more that you do this, the better you get at finding them. So some of the strategies and kind of tools I have in my kit, first, fishing line. I love to hang to, lamps outside of a house. Sometimes you can find little holes in gutters, little gaps in siding, and you can thread through a piece of fishing line. The other thing that I like to have is suction cups. So those are great for windows. You can buy high strength suction cups on Amazon, and they do the trick. That way you're not actually attaching anything. You can kind of just clear the glass surface and attach a suction cup, and then that gives you a rigging point. And then the last thing is ceiling clips. So these look like almost like little twisted jumbo paper clips. And these work great on like drop ceilings, but I also find them really useful when clipping to weird things on houses. Like I said, gutters sometimes have little clips. You get kind of creative. The more you actually look for opportunities. I've actually used them on like shutters on the outside of homes. In general, I always want to actually rig my balloons to something by tying, because I know that's not going to fail. It's not going to blow away. What happens if you stick and then that one balloon that's stuck pops, right? And then your whole garland or your whole install flies away. And then the other option is to do things freestanding. Bring bases, bend some custom like framework so that it looks like a garland going up and around a door, but really it's a big giant column that's standing on its own. So no, I don't actually recommend adhesive for sticking to any surfaces, indoor or outdoor. I don't like risking. I don't want to pull paint. I don't want to mess something up. I don't want to be responsible for that. So 99% of the time I am looking for rigging points, and that seems to work for me. Most of the time you can find a solution. Thanks for calling in. Pro Tapes is a leading manufacturer of specialty tape products like Pro Gaff, Pro Artist Tape, and our favorite balloon tape, U-Glue, which helps you create amazing balloon arrangements and decorations in less time. You can save 5% on U-Glue when you buy directly from Having a Party using code BRIGHT at checkout. All right, welcome to this episode. We have Matteo from Gemar USA. You are their marketing manager. And you and Gemar are everywhere. So we finally got a chance to really connect at Balloon Boss Summit over dinner. And I'm so excited that you agreed to come on and tell us about this company.
Hey, what's up, Dara? What's up, guys? I wanted to start off by saying thank you to Joette for always having us in the Balloon Boss Summit. Also, very great to meet a lot of people in this convention, especially this one. I believe this one has a lot of great talent and also great people that are always very selfless and open to helping out people out and networking. Just like this opportunity I've had to, speak to you, and even just by being there, I was able to, get a podcast episode.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that.
Well, and we met, was it 2 or 3 years? No, it was longer than that. It was like you had just started your new job.
It's funny because my first convention was actually the Balloon Boss Summit, and I had met you. You were one of the first people I've ever met in the industry. And you came up to me, we talked for a little bit, you kind of helped me out through, this new world, this new industry. So I thank you for that. And I guess like full circle now, and that's, I'm almost going to be, I'm here. I think it's been like 2 years and a half, almost 3.
Okay.
Where I'm going to be with Gemar USA. And I guess this is a full circle now, having a podcast episode with you.
Yeah. Well, give us an introduction about you and your involvement at Gemar. Like, how did that come to be? What do you do there? And then we're going to talk all about the company.
So, when people say I've never expected to do balloons for a living, I never really thought I was ever going to be a balloon artist or things like that. I feel like it's the same thing for me. I never thought I was going to be involved in the balloon industry, and I didn't even know there was such a thing. So, long story short, I had a little bit of marketing experience for a startup company and during the pandemic. And I was working with one of my colleagues, and they left to Gemar USA. They found a better position in this company, and then they were looking for someone for marketing. Because we did come out of nowhere in a way, and we needed to, fill in a lot of positions fast. So, and very quickly they recommended me for the position, and I've been here ever since. Never really thought it was going to be like this. I expected something more like Party City. Honestly.
Yeah, right. Like, what is the learning curve going from no balloon knowledge to like, okay, this is my job now. Like, I have to market this thing that I didn't know existed.
Yeah, and I know the lingo, all the techniques. You don't have no idea how many classes I've been through, how many techniques I've learned, how many people I've met. It's honestly one of the best industries to be in. I don't think I'll ever want to leave. Honestly, it's really fun.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I think you certainly have a fun job, and a lot of it is thanks to Gemar. They're not letting themselves get stale, I guess is how I would say it. Like they seem like they are everywhere all the time. Like what is going on there? Because it's an older company, right? It's been around for a long time.
So the factory itself has been around for more than 100 years. It's a family-owned company, and I started in the 1800s. They actually got their name. I've told you this, but people think it's still cool. Like when we say this, I don't know why they don't mention it as much. They should, honestly, because it's very cool. But it was around like the 1950 or 1980. I'm not sure, like in the mid 19th century, when they actually started the actual brand.
Okay.
Before it was just the manufacturer for like just for anybody or just balloons. Whoever needed balloons, they would make them. And it became the largest manufacturer in Europe. And then that's when they got the name Gemar. I think it was the third generation because Angelo Roca, which is the right now is the president and owner. His two kids are named Genesio and Mara, and that's where Jamar comes from. Gemar is for Genesio, and Mar is Mara, which is his daughter.
I love that. I had no idea until you told me.
Yeah, so it's actually very funny. It's like, you know how we always say I mean, I'm not sure if you know, but we always keep this whole family vibe, family tradition within the company. And every time we work with someone new, we meet people where we always are like, thank you for being part of the Jamar family. Because it is actually a family. Like this is a family owned business and it's something that's been around for 4 generations. And we take pride in that. We take pride in, just always being there, like more than just like a business, more than just a job, it's also family. I think that's one of the things that has helped us reach a bigger audience, and especially in the United States and South America.
Well, why does it feel like all of a sudden you're at everything? I mean, I feel like I had never heard of Jamar until what, like 5 years ago, until you came around. Did they just decide to have a huge US presence at that time, or was I just living under a rock?
No, it's actually, I would say it depends on who you ask, the answer for this. But I would say that a lot of it would have to do with the language barrier. Most of them
Okay.
would speak Italian. And they weren't just ready, to do business in the United States until they found, well, now that they found this, they've known, our CEO, Piero Bove, and his family. They're the ones that, came to this country and decided to still stick in the industry with balloons. And they had spoken to Italy because they're also half Italian. They spoke to Italy. So they were just wanted to do business and bring the brand into the United States. So they found that they were the best people to represent Jamar in the United States. And also, I just want to focus on the fact that this is the same company. So whenever you reach out to Jamar Balloons, you're reaching out to us.
Okay.
We're not separate people. We work together. So it's pretty much it's a whole brand together. But we just take care of North and South America just because we're just closer. We know the culture and we know, it's much easier to communicate.
Yeah, that's such a simple reason that I guess I just didn't think about. Yeah, obviously you can't speak the language. Are you ready to take your balloon business to the next level? Look no further than Having a Party Wholesale, your ultimate destination for all things balloons. At Having a Party Wholesale, they're not just a distributor, they're your partner in success. With the latest and greatest in balloon innovations, they're on the cutting edge of new products that will wow your clients. From top brands like Tuftex, Gemar, Anagram, Ellie's, Premium Conwin, and more, they've got the widest selection to fuel your creativity. Elevate your balloon business with premium quality balloons and accessories that'll make every event unforgettable. Join the successful league of professional balloon artists who shop at havingaparty.com. But
Yeah,
obviously, too, you have a huge Spanish-speaking presence as well. Like, you guys do an amazing, I mean, you're bilingual, like you're at GlobalCon, like you have all the different languages. That's very smart. It's very cool.
Yeah, so we tag both continents, North and South America. It's kind of, I would say it's very important to have two languages right now because there's a lot of Hispanic creators, a lot of, Spanish speaking, and they're coming from all over the world. There was someone in the Balloon Boss Summit. She came from Australia, but she was also Hispanic.
Well, she was from Venezuela, lived in Australia, and flew to Florida. I was like, this is unbelievable. Yeah, she was awesome. So
I feel like to step up, if you want to step up your game as a manufacturer, you do have to have like Spanish as one of your languages, and not just industry. It's somewhere in anything in this world. If I saw a statistic that the 1 out of 4 people in the U.S. is going to be Hispanic in like 50 years from now.
Huh.
I think I read that.
I believe it. Yeah. I'm trying to learn Spanish. Oh gosh, I'm so bad. I have my little Duolingo and I'm just, I think I have like a kindergartner's vocabulary. Probably worse, but I'm trying.
I mean, it's not that hard. Actually, English it's much harder in my opinion. It's just to write.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Miami. Okay. Our headquarters is in Miami. I grew up in Miami, but I was born in Colombia. I came here into this country when I was 4 years old. My dad's American. So
have you always spoken? You've always been bilingual?
I've actually learned Spanish before. I mean, my first language is Spanish, but growing up here, I obviously learned English a lot more.
Yeah.
So, and it's also the Miami English, it's not the regular English.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
It's more like the Banglish.
Okay.
We speak English and Spanish and same time. But yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask, do you see going to all of these different conventions and being so like culturally diverse? Do you see different trends or styles between different cultures? Like, I feel like everything I see online that's incredible it's always in Brazil. Like at first it was Australia,
Yeah.
now it's Brazil. It's like these
Yes,
crazy
yes.
techniques. It's almost like they're cultural. Like, have you seen
Yeah.
trends?
I would say the Hispanic or just like the foreign balloon artist has just a bigger vision on what they could do with balloons. And I don't know. I think it's just, yeah, I think it is also cultural. I would assume so because we're very influenced with art, music, and things like that. If you see right now, well, I'm not sure up north in the US, but in the worldwide, there's a lot of, Spanish celebrity Spanish artists that are just blowing up. And I
Yeah.
think it has to do with that. I think it has to do because just as a culture, like we're just, very like we just want to think big. We want to create things. We're very creative. We're very happy. Very like when you go to this convention, you also see the Hispanics are the ones that are dancing, enjoying, and I
I
don't know.
would
We
say
just like to be happy.
I think there's probably also a bigger emphasis on celebration. Like,
Yes, yes, yes.
I feel like my mom never spent any money on birthday decorations. That's just like
Yeah.
that's nothing we would
No.
ever do. But also I'm in Wisconsin. People think cool balloons are like helium balloons on strings.
Yeah.
We are not on the cutting edge of
Yeah.
balloon decor. We're working on it.
And that's why even like when we go to celebrations like for quinceañera, those are always something that are like it's something very big for a family. There's always a big party, so always a big celebration. And not even that, you know how many holidays there are in like these South American countries? We only get like what, like 10, 12 holidays a year. There's like 2 holidays a month for most South
Yeah.
American countries. They're always trying to celebrate something. And I guess this is the way they live is this celebration.
Yeah.
And there's just more time to think about celebrations. So I'm pretty sure that's why they want to do something a lot bigger. They always want to think outside the box and do something like very crazy for
Yeah, that's
balloons.
neat. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All of my dream instructors, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
all of them, but a lot of them
No,
are
big part, big part.
are Spanish speaking. Let's pivot and talk about Gemar and anything that's new or like some of the decisions that you get to make in the marketing world. Are you involved in colors? Are you involved in branding? Like what do you get to talk about at your office meetings?
Okay, so I'm involved with mostly branding, sponsorships, just because the people that make the decision upon one, let's say, make a new color, make a new program, it's always obviously in Italy. And I'm involved in the marketing aspect of it. How are we going to market this product, this new product? Where are we going to talk about it? To who are we going to talk about it? And exactly what are we going to do? We just came out with the two new sizes of neon balloons. We came out with a 19-inch, which is actually very cool, and a 5-inch neon balloon. Come in 5 different colors. And that was a plan that Gemar in Italy they had. And my job was to, market these two new sizes to North and South America. That's pretty much I take care of social media, newsletters, sponsorships, and things like that. Just kind of keep the brand and the name relevant. And there's a couple new things that are coming for in that campaign for the neon, and also a special surprise for next year. By the time, when does this episode come out?
I'm not sure yet. Probably January.
Okay, so let's say right now we're in January. There's a really big surprise for those listening, and they should
Yeah.
probably know by now. It's something that you're gonna be part of, so it's gonna be something really great.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
I think that's important. I think that's as an artist, as a balloon
yeah.
decorator, that is what I have noticed about Jamar. Like, there's always new stuff. There's always this
And it's
drive to keep it fresh.
and it's not just balloons. Honestly, there's also things like, for example, we came up with this idea. It's called the Jamar class, and it's basically taking an instructor to a store, one of our distributors, and those that do a pretty good job throughout the year. And then we reward them with a free class. What we do is that we tell them, hey, look, we're going to send you an instructor, a very, very nice instructor as well, like a Jamar ambassador talent or just someone very, I guess, relevant in the industry. And we're going to have them give a class to your clients. And the way you sign up is by purchasing $99 worth of Jamar product. So we're boosting sales in low season. So that's good for the customer, like our client. And you get to, learn something new as a consumer. So it's a win-win for both.
Yeah. Oh, that's smart. And
We've
like
been doing that
$99 worth of balloons is like
Yeah.
not
So
much.
like
That's
it's
like
a free
not hard.
class, but it's a free class basically because
Yeah.
you get to keep the balloons for your own jobs, and you just show up to the class,
Oh,
get
I
to meet
like
up.
that.
Are you looking to grow the number of businesses you're working with? From the small retail shop doing a grand opening in your downtown to the large Fortune 500 that has a fulfillment center or a warehouse or a large office building in your community. On the Balloon Suite blog, you can find the details on how to find and approach businesses of all types and of all ranges and size so that you can grow your sales and grow your revenue per order. Come on over to the Balloon Suite blog to learn more at balloonsuite.com.
Are those upcoming or those ongoing?
We just had our last one for the year in Yuma, Arizona, with our distributor Jace Party Shop, and we should resume that sometime later after March next year, because January through March, full of conventions.
Yeah.
Full of conventions. That's another part of my job. What are we going to do? What type of content we're going to create? What are we going to show in these conventions? We have I think it's 8-10 conventions in 3 months.
That's so wild. Do you go to all of them?
I do the best I can to go to all of them. I obviously can't, because some of them are actually in the same week and things like that.
Sure.
And not all of them require my presence like another. Some of them are very business to business. So that's more for the sales team. Sales team goes to.
Interesting. So not always balloon decorators. Sometimes it's
exactly.
toy shows and stuff.
So it's more balloon decorator. Yes, I would go, because obviously there's more people that need to know more about the brand. And, there's more content to make. There's a lot more going on than just a trade show. So I try to go to the ones that are, heavily involved with artists, entertainers, and things like that. But yeah, I'm the one that travels the most in the company.
Do you have your fly days set?
Yeah.
What shoes to wear and TSA pre-check?
Yeah, that TSA pre-check. Shout out to TSA pre-check. That is actually an essential part of this job, honestly.
I just got mine this year, and I felt so fancy flying for the first time. I was like, look at all those peasants waiting in the regular person line. I felt so good. It was totally worth it.
It's super worth it, especially when you're traveling for work. You're always on the go, and you don't want to miss that. You can miss a vacation, but you do not want to miss it. Especially with my boss.
Yeah.
If I ever miss a flight, it would be catastrophic.
Well, and especially because these conventions, if you're 1 day late, you've missed half of it, and you don't have your booth set up, and you're that would be terrible.
And also sometimes, let's say your only job is to go for the first day, because let's say something is going on for that day, and you don't make it, you pretty much invested in the whole convention for no reason.
Yeah.
You're not able to grab the content, meet the people, make the connections that you need to make. So imagine if I would have gone to Balloon Boss Summit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
Yeah. I know. That was such a fun dinner where we finally got to chat, even though there were Irish cloggers, deafeningly loud.
It was a nice dinner. We had over 20 people.
I know, it was huge. It was so fun. That's one of my favorite parts about Summit is the meals and having time to actually go out and eat with people and relax and connect. So, it took us 3 times to finally get to sit and talk, but
it could have been earlier. It could have been earlier, but last year we had the whole hurricane, and I'm not sure if I saw you last year, but I left early.
See, you left early. I got stuck. I stayed late. So I had 2 or 3 extra days, which was kind of awesome. It was just a little private vacation that no one could be mad at me about.
Yeah.
But we all had weird travel last year. But what else is coming out new? You said new colors. Is the design program around still? Can you tell me about that?
100. Yeah, it's actually, I wish it's very underrated software, but I guess we just have to educate the industry a lot more. I feel like for the past 3 years, education has been a big priority for many people. They just have to, a lot of people are very old school, so they don't really want to open up to new tools. But for those of you who are interested, it's best software for design, because a lot of these other softwares are just, kind of improvising to making you're making all of these projects and digitally, and you're going to show it to your client, but they're not really accurate on the color. This is actually a program made for balloons. It's using the same color, and it's going to be telling you, it's going to be using the terms like columns, organic, bouquets, and things like that. And those all preset. You only have to pretty much say, okay, I want to make a column with these 2 colors and this height, and it's going to already generate that for you.
And what's it called?
It's called Gemar Creator.
Okay, and how do we get access to that? I am interested.
GemarCreator.com. You get a 2-week trial. After that, I believe it's $12 a month, which is you only pay a yearly subscription.
Okay.
And you could save all your projects, send it to everybody that you want to send a quote to, and it's very accurate because it's, once again, it's literally made for balloons. Of
Yeah.
course, it's only going to show the Gemar balloons, but there's like over 90 different balloons and colors. And it's just a very accurate way to work, and it's very professional as well.
Yeah.
It's made for you to be a really good event planner or balloon decorator. I think it's something that if I were a balloon artist, I would use that every
Yeah,
day.
I definitely need to dive in more because like you said, I think a
Yeah.
lot of us are kind of Frankensteining these like
Yeah.
Canva mock-ups and kind of
Yeah,
trying our best,
exactly.
but like it's
Canva doesn't do
hard.
balloons. It's not
And
for
I feel
balloons.
like it's easier for organic, but sometimes if you just need like a classic arch, I'm like, why am I spending so much? Why doesn't this exist? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, it does. I just haven't taken advantage. So I need to
You
check it out.
literally say, I need a column or I need an arch this tall and this wide, and it's going to tell you exactly how many balloons you need and what color.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's a calculator too. All right. Very cool.
Yeah. It's
We'll
going
link
to
to
print out
that.
the whole recipe.
Yeah, we'll link to that in the show notes too. So if anyone's listening and they want to check it out, we'll put the link right in there. That's definitely going to be on my list of things to test out this year.
Yeah. It's just another way of how we invest into our people, the artists, give them enough tools for them to work better and make the industry a lot easier to be in. So we don't just invest in making new cutters. We make, this software. Education is our number one priority, honestly.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I am excited to do some exploring in that program. I have my biggest job ever in April. I have a ginormous job, way beyond anything I've ever designed before. So I am like, give me all the shortcuts, anything that exists. I will do.
If you have any feedback, we're always open to the feedback. This is something that we always do. So you could actually submit any type of feedback of how to make the program better. So it's always updating. It's on the cloud. So
That's great. That's very cool. Well, oh my gosh, anything else you want to share before we wrap up? I feel like I've gotten the crash course on all things Gemar. I love it. I'm so excited.
Well, no, I mean, not really. I just wanted to say thank you for having us on the podcast, giving us a little bit of the spotlight. And if anybody ever has any questions, we always feel free to write to us. We are on Instagram, Facebook, email, we're everywhere. And if you want us to be in any event or any type of sponsorship, we're always open to working with new people. We're always open to working with new people. And yeah, we're just here to have some fun and, make this whole place a lot better.
That's awesome. Well, will you be at Float? Is that one of your next events, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's actually the last event that we have for that.
Gosh, you have all those events before Float?
Yeah, so we're gonna close it with a bang, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need like 10 Red Bulls a day to actually. It's gonna be very fun. Float. We have the stage, the gala decor, and we're working on something very, very nice, very fancy, very up to standard of what Float is and what we're all about. It's going to be very fun.
Cool. All right. Well, I am going to try to be there. No promises because I'm having a baby right before, but I want to see everyone so bad. And I'm excited.
I don't think you're going to make it, but I want to just congratulate you already.
Come on. You got to believe.
I mean, I don't think you're going to want to leave.
I know. That's what everyone says. They're like, you're not going to want to be there. I'm like, I don't know. I really like balloons. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll smuggle in the little baby and we'll.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We're going to do a lot of great things, and it's going to be very fun for us. And Flo, we're going to do very, very fun things for all the delegates, all the participants.
Yeah. It's going to be like record breaking. I think they're going to sell out. I think they're going to sell out at like 900.
Yeah. I mean, we're planning on doing something for 900 people. So
yeah. I think they'll get there. Well, cool. Yeah. It was so nice chatting, and thank you so much for taking the time.
No, thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much. Anytime that you want to talk about anything in the podcast, you can always invite us.
All right. Well, famous last words. Be careful. I've had Lily on 4 times now. She's probably like, no, the offer does not still stand.
We love Lily. We love Lily.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. Our presenting sponsor is 17 Hats, the CRM I use to cut the chaos and manage my entire balloon business. From the lead capture form on my website to workflows and email templates, invoicing and grab-and-go garland automated bookings, it's all powered by 17 Hats, the best customer relationship management system for balloon businesses. There's even a 50% off coupon code waiting for you in the show notes wherever you're listening. I'll see you next week in another episode.